Hey, when you first power up a Samsung M9, it hits you not in specs, but in how effortless and right everything looks and feels. This is for the kind of person who's watched vibrant content on good screens and still felt like something was missing. You know when colors don't quite sing, when motion feels just a bit off, when details that should be crisp instead feel muted. You've lived with screens that only almost delivered, and once you see what true OLED does with 165Hz and Samsung Vision AI, you'll feel like you finally crossed the threshold from pretty good to satisfyingly complete. Before you get deeper, check the current price and stock. Panels like this with gaming and smart performance often shift quietly. There's always that moment when you realize you're done settling. Maybe it was during a racing game where motion blur distracted instead of immersed. Maybe a favorite film looked flatter than you expected, or HDR highlights didn't land with weight. That moment wasn't frustration, it was awareness. You knew you deserved an experience that feels intentional, not compromised. The first time you actually use this monitor, there's a subtle certainty that settles in. You're not adjusting settings. Motion feels immediate instead of smeared. Dark scenes finally hold detail instead of washing into gray. Bright colors bloom with depth instead of surface-level punch. It's not about chasing numbers anymore, it's about how the picture feels to your eyes. Everything just feels at ease. In real life, this changes your days. Gaming feels sharper because every pan and quick angle stays clean and responsive. Visuals feel alive because color and contrast have authority without artificial overshoot. Even everyday work or streaming feels more engaging because the whole screen seems purpose-built instead of just functional. And thanks to the built-in Smart Monitor Hub and Vision AI, navigating content feels second nature, not a chore. If you haven't checked the current price and availability yet, do that now. Displays this capable, especially with QD-OLED and high refresh, don't sit quietly in stock, and waiting often means paying more later. You might wonder if you really need this level of performance. That thought is understandable, until you live with a panel that actually keeps up with what your eyes expect. Once you have this in front of you, lesser screens start to feel like compromises you simply used to tolerate. The picture feels alive and intentional, motion feels clean and responsive, colors feel deep and confident, every session feels effortlessly immersive, daily use feels smoother and more natural. It's a premium step up from typical monitors. Specs like this aren't cheap or common. Eventually the comparison loop stops, because you keep returning to the experience that already felt right in your gut. Don't let this become one of those upgrades you think about and delay. Prices shift and stock tightens more often than you expect. If you're ready to stop settling and actually enjoy what you watch and play every day with confidence and clarity, check the current price on the Samsung M9 and make the call. The first time you lean back and watch, you'll know you made the right decision.